Most alarmingly, a lot of that money is funneled through money traders, and in the end, ends up in the hands of Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. So to bring this full circle, the Minnesota taxpayers are funneling money through fraudulent autism claims back to Somalia, where that money lands in the accounts of Al-Shabaab.
Enough to understand that members of Congress can't be impeached. You know, when you have Nancy and Randy saying, you know, we're on it, we're going to impeach her, when they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen.
IIhan Omar, the cracks are beginning to show. Now that you are on Trump's radar, I think you are starting to become very afraid.
Yes, when you take a look at this lady, you can clearly see she is panicking. For a very long time, she has been bold in Congress to say some things. Recently, I did research and there is something I found after Trump made the announcement.
The lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact. We've seen it during the campaign, where he said Asians were eating cats and dogs. We've seen his vice president repeat those lies. We've seen the media run it as a headline as if it was a fact. That is shameful. That is shameful. That is ignorant. It makes us look like a stupid nation that does not believe in truth, but traffics in lies. It makes the world mock us, and we are better than that. We are better than that as Americans.
On Truth Social says Minnesota, under Governor Walz, is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity.
We know what our president has done. It is an attack on our community.
Yes, you can see clearly that she is panicking. I did research to actually see if this is true. When you take a look at this, the point in the video about the naturalizations are legally correct. U.S. naturalized citizens can have citizenship revoked for all certain crimes, potentially leading to deportations. No such proceeding against Representative Omar have been initiated as of November 2023, despite allegations have claimed that citizens can be deported while citizenship remains intact. You know, this lady, for a very long time, I've never reported any video linking to her. It is recent. Trump, made it clear that it is over for some of these people.
Enough to understand that members of Congress can't be impeached.
IIhan Omar, the cracks are beginning to show. Now that you are on Trump's radar, I think you are starting to become very afraid. You're starting to panic. It looks like you are terrified and you feel some sense of threat. And honestly, you should be. I would like to point out and comment on the last statement that you made in that interview, but I'd also like to correct you on some few things. Yes, you are correct. American citizens cannot be deported, but what you failed to mention is that there are two types of American citizens. You failed to make that distinction. There are natural-born citizens and they are naturalized citizens, which you and I fall under that category. Both you and I are naturalized citizens, you being a Somalian and I am a Zambian. We became naturalized citizens because we satisfied the requirements needed to pursue citizenship through a legal process. We applied for naturalization because we satisfied all the requirements needed by immigration in order for us to pursue to become citizens. Natural-born citizens cannot be deported. Why? Because they were born here. However, naturalized citizens, we can get our citizenship revoked through a denaturalization process. And how that can come about is if we are being pursued criminally or civically. And it has to go through the federal courts. When they start civil or criminal proceedings, that's where we can run the risk of having our citizenship revoked. Now, You, on the other hand, you are being pursued criminally because it's been alleged that you had committed acts of when it came to applying for your citizenship, for your naturalized citizenship. You had made some statements which were misrepresented, or you had omitted facts, or you did not tell the truth when it came to applying for your citizenship. Now this alleged information has come about that you had lied on your application. That is why you're being pursued criminally. And that's how you may face being deported or having your citizenship revoked because of those things. The problem with you, IIhan, is I think you've gotten way too comfortable. To be honest with you, you're very cocky. You're taking this whole thing for granted. The fact that you are in this country, let me tell you something. Being a U.S. citizen, especially being a naturalized U.S. citizen, that is a privilege. It's not a right. I have a privilege. And I am proud and I am happy. I am grateful that I was awarded and I was afforded that opportunity to be a citizen of this country. America didn't have to do that. They didn't have to grant me a citizenship because I've been in this country. So don't bite the hands that feed you. And for you to be so disrespectful to Trump, the way you talk about this man like he is shit under your shoe, is very disrespectful, because guess what? You don't have to be here. He can have the right to pursue criminal proceedings to get you out of this country, because time and time again, your actions, the things that you say and you do show that you are not a loyal citizen of this country. You don't deserve to be an American citizen. Why? Because you put your own country of Somalia first.
This lady is saying the truth. I agree with her. You know, I have seen Omar several times saying things in their dialect, praising their country the most. She prefers Somali than the US. We have seen her insulted the country over and over. I'm an African. Yeah. If I had the privilege to take up the citizenship of any country, I would be glad. Yeah. Because I understand it is not a right. Yeah. And I will embrace it, make sure to follow the rules that govern that country. I have been out of my born country for almost 12 years. Yeah, I left when I was still very small. I've been to different countries. And when I see people being here, talking this way, sometimes I used to wonder. Yeah, because some don't even have the privilege to take up what these people are enjoying. Sometimes they do it because they believe their party have their backing. Yeah. She's saying all this because she knows the Democrat Party will stand up, do this, do that in support of her. But forgetting that Trump is the president, a lot can change within the blink of an eye. That is one thing these people don't understand.
Other sheik is accused of helping him launder that money.
Now, in any normal country, this would cause a major backlash from the native population. But liberals actually want this. This is the greatest form of social justice. And anyone else who dares to speak out against programs getting robbed that are meant to feed hungry children are silenced.
I do believe those of you who are interested in rewriting this hateful narratives to me are poets.
Thank you. She called the Republican Party.
Tom Emmer has been a huge part of what I call the protection party. They've done every single thing possible.
Minnesota, and I'm so happy that Trump is making these moves because enough.
As of the short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm. You can always skip.
Virginia. No, he still won about 40 points.
This let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side.
And that was my first instant. Have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us. It's history.
Point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic. He even gets an off.
If the Democrats
Because how many times do somebody asks?
4.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama.
He's blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel. Well, it didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show.
To spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with what Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how...
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Peggy D.
Many were surprised to see Darth Renner...
Between now...
60 minutes for editing an interview.
Have to follow unconstitutional orders.